On the Saturday of the inaugural Melbourne Esports Open, the Rod Laver Arena behind me serves as host to the second playoffs in Australian Overwatch Contenders. For some players, not only is this their first time competing under a LAN setting, but it's also their first time competing in front of a crowd. How did this event come to be? What does it signify for the future of Australian Overwatch? Let's go find out.
One, being at the Melbourne Esports Open, it's the first time it's obviously been run, is a huge step, and being one of the the lead titles for the event is a huge step for Overwatch. And the fact that it's the Contenders season final is a huge deal, because obviously we want to push the grassroots scene in Australia, and obviously the path into the Overwatch League is through Contenders. And putting it here at the Melbourne Esports Open, where it's essentially a type of esports festival where we're approaching, families, mums, dads and kids, and giving them just a taste of what competitive gaming and what esports is. Obviously, it's the best event to introduce them into Contenders and the Overwatch kind of platform.
What was it like competing in such a massive environment today? Did you notice a lot of the players under stress, or did they kind of just take it as it comes?
I mean, there's always it's the grand final. There's always a lot of stress. I don't think the crowd had any influence on the increase or decrease of stress.
I think it definitely impacts it, and I think since I was listening to their communication during the matches, it was very noticeable on the first half Ilios that people weren't really settled in, and we got used to it over the course, and you do develop that kind of experience and tolerance to what's going on around you. Yeah. But it's definitely always a factor, and especially for players in this scene, it's something they haven't really experienced before. Sure. So definitely something that is very different to playing online in your home.
It was a really good experience. It was the first time where I've actually had such a large crowd cheering for me.
How significant do you think the spotlight was today, and just elevating the Australian scene and kind of putting a local talent in the international spotlight for a day?
It's huge. This is more exposure. MEO is a huge event, and it's become it's a really big event, and hopefully events like this can put more eyes on the region, and that'll increase the resources that orgs will put into teams, and it'll just develop the whole scene from teams to individuals, and hopefully there's more opportunities.
I think today is huge. It's events like this that really put the spotlight on Australian players and teams, and events like this are so rare, with the last one being, fortunately enough, World Cup last year. But those are the two only real Overwatch events we've had that have been publicized and in a big venue. So it definitely proves that the players have the talent, and hopefully that people will see it.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think it's a really big step. I think that one of the best ways to make Australian esports better is to have a lot more internal tournaments within Australia and Oceania.
There's a lot of international teams looking for talent. There's a lot of moves happening. Kelsey got picked up. Yep. So yeah, there's a lot of people looking at every scene, trying to find a hidden player, or there's a lot of talent.
Do you think the Colour Hex is kind of the start of a bigger trend, because he's obviously the first to really go up?
I think so. There's a lot of our transfers happening. People, academy teams trying to protect people that they pick up beforehand. So yeah, there won't be too many Oceanic players, but there'll at least be a handful that move around a bit.
I mean, the thing is, obviously some regions are more developed than others. And the thing is, Australia is a region that's a little bit underdeveloped compared to North America, EU, Korea, and maybe even Pacific. But yeah, it's very weird to see how people in Australia approach the game versus what I'm used to seeing in North America.
I think Blizzard's been doing an amazing job with Contenders, and it's just improved tenfold this season. And I'm sure it's going to keep going that way, and I think those are the steps we need to get esports in Australia, and also to help the players get noticed and give them those potential overseas opportunities.
We want to just give a big shout out to Blizzard for bringing Overwatch here. We'd love to see it, and there's no reason why it wouldn't continue for years.